What's going on there, Guardians? My name is Pone, and today I have something a little different. This is also going to be like a limited time series, if you will. A lot of people have been asking me, Pone, what are the things that you like to use on your subclasses? What's your favorite guns to use on them? How do you think they are compared to other ones? And I decided, hey, let's just make a quick little series on each of the individual subclasses, talk about the pros and cons, what weapons I like to use with them, how I build that skill tree, if you will, and hopefully can teach you guys a little bit more about them. So without further ado, we're going to start with the first one, and one of my personal favorites, the Gunslinger. I believe my real attraction to this class is the fact that it's like a medium range class. Every other class in the game seems like it's designated for close quarters combat. This one, I feel, is the one that actually caters to the person that likes to be the sniper or likes to use the Red Death or scout rifles or something like that. And with the increased damage and buff for scout rifles, the Gunslinger definitely has an advantage over other classes, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, the reason I say it's made for, middle range, long range situations where the other ones aren't, just look at its abilities. Its attack, by the way, it's right bumper attack, where all the other classes like the Warlock have the palm, and you have the Titan and the shoulder charge. Almost every one of those are melee abilities on the other subclasses. This one has a throwing knife. We use kitchen utensils, ladies and gentlemen, meant for range. On top of that, just to fortify my theory, you have trip mines. That is definitely something that you use when you're a sniper. You want to fortify yourself with range and kind of give yourself that advantage. Separate yourself from the other people. Not to mention the second grenade, which I believe is called the Swarm Grenade, kind of puts up a wall, if you will, and is also really good at channeling people away from you. This class is meant to be that. On top of that, you think of its super. You got 3 shots from the Golden Gun, able to just kill things in one shot. And above all, it's the one thing that allows you to kill things with range. Now, if you look at the other supers, you got the Titan, both of which are close quarters only. The Warlock, it can self-revive, but basically throws grenades. And there is one ability for the Warlock that allows it to go range, but generally is not used too commonly. I actually go with, a different one. But for the most part, this class is made for medium range, where the other one's not so much. So, now, where does this leave us? It needs to be played that way. I recommend people to use scout rifles, pulse rifles are great, stuff like that. Can you still use auto rifles? Yeah, it's even great to use auto rifles. But I almost always recommend you guys to actually go with a sniper rifle over a fusion rifle or shotgun because, again, like I said, the strengths of this class are with range. Now, moving on out. So now we move on to the wardrobe. Hey! The Symbiote is the must-have helmet for this class. And the reason for that is it gives you super build when you get grenade kills, and Last Man Standing ability, granting you a 4th shot in the Golden Gun. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 4 people you can kill. Now to the actual abilities itself. I go with the Incendiary Grenade, Triple Jump. I go with Gunfighter because the cooldown of Golden Gun is an amazing thing. Incendiary Blade for a little bit of dot damage. Path Unknown, focused on battle recovery and toughness. Gunslinger's Trance, because I like the precision kills to increase the stability. Or you could go with Keyhole if you're into really weird over-penetration things. Scavenger's not a bad choice either. Way of the Fearless, I like to go with Toughness. Recovery's not a bad choice either. And Gambler's Dagger, an additional throwing knife, really does play into the game. Chain of Woe is not a bad one, especially if you couple it with Gunslinger's Trance. So now that you guys know what we're wearing this fall season, I want to tell you a little bit more about this. The pros and the cons, if you will. Now, the good things going for this class is the fact that you do have that ranged sustainability. The fact that you can snipe 4 people with the proper exotic across the map is a really good feature. Most of the others just have like a direct area of effect kind of burst, like the Striker or the Warlock, so on and so forth. This one allows you to be a little bit more accurate and actually pinpoint individuals, making it a great feature. Now, one downfall to the super is, unlike most of the other ones, it does not grant you, I guess, extra tankiness. You're looking at the Arc Blade, the counterpart for the Hunter. You get that tankiness when you're floating around, and it can even regenerate your health while doing it. You've got the Striker with the Titan and the double, the tankiness when he dunks. He also has the ability to have the bubble. I mean, if you look at that, and then the Sun Singer that can revive itself and get tanky. Like, that's one really big flaw to this, which means you're completely vulnerable when you're in the Golden Gun, so you gotta strike fast and strike hard when using it. Another downfall to this class is the grenades. Again, they're more on the defensive side with the grenades that basically barricade yourself in and can put, kind of channel people into where you'd like to go. But for the most part, the Incendiary Grenade is not half bad. Unfortunately, it's not an impact grenade. Like, when it lands, that would have been a beautiful thing, but it really has like a second until it explodes after it's actually impacted a surface, which kind of makes it sucky, but it also allows you to have the ability to ricochet things, bounce things off of, wall frames, walls, signs, or anything like that to actually kind of sneak it into an area. So it does have its benefits, but again, the grenades are not the greatest for this. So with that being said, I still recommend you guys to focus on intellect and discipline over strength. I want you guys to build strictly those if possible, if your gear permits it. And the reason for that is I don't think you need strength whatsoever. Throwing knives are great. Not a lot of people are really good with them. And above all, we have that ability that grants you a second throwing knife. So you can build them up over time and kind of store them. The grenades are always going to be more valuable. That way you have two things that you can throw that could do dot damage. That means damage over time, you know, ticking damage where the fire hurts them over time. From your incendiary grenade and from the throwing knife with the flame damage on it. So that creates a great opportunity for you. On top of that, intellect is something that you have to stack too because it gives you a cooldown on the golden gun. On top of the ability that gives you the cooldown on golden gun, you should be getting like 4 or 5 of those a match if you're actually doing pretty well. And if you look at that, that's 20, 15, 20 shots you can get off with a golden gun. So with that being said, hopefully you guys have learned something right here. One more final little bit of advice or tip, if you will. When using those throwing knives, they're a really good initiation. Basically, one throwing knife sunk into a person and like a shot from any weapon is going to kill them. It's also a great way to kind of take somebody with you to the grave, if you will. What that means is if you're about to die and you've gotten like at least one shot into him, throw that knife and take him with you. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's my build. Those are my tips for using this class. Get out there and shoot some hoes. Keyhole some bitches. And I will catch you guys on another video. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And also let me know which one you'd like to see next. Would you like to see the Void Walker or something else? And I will get that out to you sometime in the next few days. Thanks for your time, guys. Have a great weekend.